Good morning, guys. Today is Wednesday, February 3rd, 2021, and this is your math lesson for today. Today we're going to work on decomposing two congruent dimensional figures. So we're going back to some 2D shapes. Before we do that, let's do a warm-up question. Did not mean to click that. Hold on 1 second. All right. There we go. All right. Which of these is the best description of the common characteristic of the figures in set A? So we're looking at set A. Okay. Here we're going to label these. We have a cylinder. Remember, we always label our shapes. And we have a sphere. Okay. And we're looking at set A. They have no vertices. They have at least one circular base. They have at least one edge. And they have faces that are polygons. Okay. So if we think about these, a cylinder has two faces. Okay. They have a face up here. Remember, a face is a flat surface. And they have a face down here. Now those faces are circles. Now we know that a circle is not a polygon because it does not have straight sides. And a sphere doesn't have any faces. So we can get rid of J. They have at least one edge. Okay, so this is circular. Remember, even though this looks like an edge, those are not edges. Okay, remember, think about a cylinder. A cylinder is rounded like a can. So that is not an edge. So a cylinder doesn't have any edges. So neither one of these have edges. They have at least one circular base. Well, this one does have a circular base. But a sphere does not have a base at all. It's one solid round shape. It does not have any base. They have no vertices. That would be correct. That sphere has no vertices. Remember, a vertex is a corner. And a cylinder does not have any vertices. So our answer there is F. Okay? Next question. All right. These squares are congruent. Okay, so remember, congruent is considered a keyword. And when we see this word congruent, we write same. Same size, same shape. Divide one square into triangular parts. Okay, so on your paper, I want you to go ahead and draw two squares. Try to make them as close as the same size as possible. Pause the video here, draw your squares, press play whenever you're ready. Okay, we're going to divide one square into triangular parts. So make sure I make that even. Okay, triangle 1, triangle 2. Didn't mean to erase the whole thing. Okay, let me draw that again. Triangle 1 and triangle 2. Alright, so I got triangular parts. Divide the other square into rectangular parts. Okay, in order to do that, I'm going to draw a line down the middle. Triangle, So we did triangular parts and rectangular parts. Okay, right here, rectangle, rectangle. Okay, so let's go over here. What does congruent mean? Congruent means same size, same shape. Okay, which means those squares are the same exact size and they are the same shape. Alright, what fraction is represented by one of the rectangular parts? Okay, so let's talk about fractions. Now, let's go ahead and draw our fraction line. Okay, how many total pieces do I have here? I broke this into 1, 2, right? I have 2 pieces. And one of those rectangular pieces makes up half of that square. Okay? Do the rectangular parts and the triangular parts cover the same amount of area? Okay, so we know that this is also one piece and two pieces. Okay? So both of these, we know these are the same size, these squares. We know they're the exact same shape. And we know we've broken them into two pieces. Okay? Since they are congruent, and they are the same size, and they are the same shape, even though this one is broken into triangles, and this one is broken into squares, the area is still the same because they are congruent. Okay? Don't think just because one is triangular and one is rectangle that they are different. They're not. If these two shapes are congruent and they're both broken in half, this triangle is the same size as this rectangle. And this triangle is the same size as this rectangle. Okay? Because they are congruent and they both are broken into two pieces. Okay? All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the next. All right. Okay. Brandon drew the two congruent squares shown. So again, we have congruent squares. Now remember, every time we see the word congruent, that's a key word. And we're going to write the word same. Okay. He divided one square into two congruent triangular parts. So we're going to go ahead and do that again. Two congruent triangular parts. He divided the other square into two congruent rectangular parts. Okay, now, he did not do this, so we have to do it. Okay, and when you do that, make sure you do it as neatly as possible. That way you can see. Okay, and we're looking for which statement is true. Each triangular part and each rectangular part represent 1/2 the area of one square. Okay, so this is one piece, this is two pieces, right? This is one piece, and this is two pieces. So I have two pieces in each square. Each triangular part has an area that is greater than the area of each rectangular part. So they're saying the area of this triangle is greater than the area of this triangle. Each triangular part and each rectangular part represent 1/4 of the area. So they're saying here that the shapes are breaking up into 4 pieces. Okay? I have 4 pieces total, but one square is not broken up into 4 pieces. One square is broken up into 2 pieces. Each rectangular part has an area that is greater than the area of each triangular part. So that question is saying that this rectangle is greater than this triangle. Okay, so let's talk about a few things. We know that these two shapes are congruent, which means they're the same size and the same shape. So which is bigger, this triangle or this rectangle? If you said they're the same, that would be correct. They are the same because they are congruent and they're both broken up into 2 pieces. So I know the triangle is not greater and I know the rectangle is not greater. Okay, they're the same. So is the rectangle part represent 1/2 of the area, or does the rectangular part represent 1/4? Okay, so this right here, this piece equals 1 piece out of 2. And this rectangle here represents 1 rectangle out of 1, 2. So our answer is F. Okay, remember, if two shapes are congruent, they are the same, which means if I break them both into 2 equal parts, those equal parts are the same. Alright guys, that's the end of our math lesson for today. Make sure when you get into Canvas, you take your time and answer those questions carefully and draw them in your journal or on a piece of paper. Alright guys, y'all have a good day.